I'm going to tell you an interesting story, not very interesting, in fact, a sad story of Vernon Lamberg. Vernon Lamberg is a man whose body was found about 10 hours after his death, and he was hit by the trauma of 17th October, or 19th October 1987. For those of you who were not born or were too young, that was the day when the Dow Jones fell. I think 500 billion or something was wiped off from the market. The market, I think, fell about 22%, which is the single largest drop. If you go to Google, you will be able to find charts showing how the market went up like this and came down like this, right? Exactly like what we say, that Rome was not built in the day, but Hiroshima and Nagasaki were destroyed in a few seconds. That's what happens. Your wealth destruction can be so huge. So Vernon Lamberg lost money, maybe $500,000, and he was so traumatized that he went and took his life. His son wrote after some time that it was not just the money that he lost, but the personal shame of an event like this, which is very true, because I've gone through something like this when you're managing other people's money and you make a mistake, or the fund manager makes a mistake which was told to you by somebody, but just out of love for that fund manager or for whatever reasons you stick around in that asset class and you lose money, and maybe subsequently you recover it. The personal loss, the money loss is not as hurtful. Of course, money loss hurts. Money loss hurts you, hurts your friends, hurts your clients, but the thing that people trusted you with the money and you could not manage it, you could not see it, you made a mistake, that hurts much more than the monetary loss. Of course, the monetary loss hurts. So what Vernon Lamberg did to himself is he went and told himself a story. Look, you idiot, you lost money, now you don't deserve to live, so you should take your life. There is a parallel story of one more person. I'll just get his name in a jiffy. His name was Arthur Kane. Arthur Kane was 53 years of old. He was a long-time visitor to the Merrill Lynch office, and he went into one branch of Merrill, and he killed one employee and wounded another one before he took his own life. So again, the question of what story do you tell yourself? Do you tell yourself a story that, look, idiot, you lost money? Or do you say, oh my God, I was very smart, I was not dumb, but this relationship manager in this broking company forced me to do these deals, and therefore I lost money, and therefore you go and kill somebody? It's a question of what you keep telling your mind that your mind believes. Something is true, right? Something is true that you made a mistake. Something is true that your relationship manager made a mistake. So somewhere you have met, so something has happened. Somebody has made you do those deals, or you did those deals out of greed. You could never take money off the market because you thought, oh, my 5,000 shares. Imagine you bought 5,000 shares of some company at 8 rupees. Today it is worth 40 rupees. So you made good money, right? Can you sell 1,000 shares and book some profit? Can you sell 2,000 shares and book some profit, right? You should be doing that, right? We are not able to handle either success or failure. Now you bought the shares at 10 bucks. It went to 38. You were leveraged, and then the price falls to 15. It is not going to hurt you if that was all your own money, but it is going to wipe you out because the person who had lent you the money is going to sell it off at 15 rupees and recover his losses, right? Because he is not very sure that you will be able to repay. So he had given you money, the shares started at 40 rupees in the morning and it is now down to 15 rupees. You lost 25, but you lost 25 not on just the 5,000 shares which you had, but for another 95,000 shares which you had borrowed and leveraged and bought. So this is how leverage hurts. When leverage hurts, your first anger is, why did the banker give me money? How can the market fall, how can the share price fall 30%, 40% in one day, in one session? What happens? Why is there no control? What happened to F&O? You can ask yourself many questions, but the thing is, you have lost money. You are telling, your mind is telling you some story saying, look, you idiot, you did it. or your mind is telling you a story that it is your banker, broker, relationship manager who made you do those F&O deals. You are a thorough gentleman, you never did do anything like that, but well, somebody made you do it, right? So what really causes post traumatic stress disorder? I mean, financial, let's call it financial post traumatic stress disorder, right? I think this is covered in this book called The Evil Hours by David Morris, and I found this on the website of Nick McGulley, and Nick McGulley was recommended to me in an interview by Morgan Housel. And therefore I found this story very interesting. Therefore so both Lamberg and Kane must have felt helpless because of the crash. Now the question is, are you mature enough to say, close your eyes, meditate and say, I did it because of my greed, so I deserve to take the hit? Or do you say, oh my God, what happened to the market? What was SEBI doing? What was SEC doing? What was RBI doing, right? Or it's my broker who made me do it. It was my relationship manager who made me do it. I was about to sell. My wife told me not to sell because she wanted to buy a bigger house. Whatever, the story is in your head and it keeps replaying again and again. When you blame yourself, you go and take your life. When you blame somebody else, your manager, your relationship manager, your broker, banker, etc., you take their life. Now these are both very traumatic kind of situation where you go to this extreme, but largely it is the helplessness with which we deal. And just imagine you have let's say 100 crores of your own money, you have lost 10 crores. It's not going to cripple you, it's not going to kill you, you're not leveraged. Yes, your net worth falls. Yes, one day you will be able to laugh at this mistake because it's a small amount. But today the trauma in your head, and let's say you're 70 years of age, so that extra 90 crores, whether you have 90 or 9, doesn't really matter. You have a simple lifestyle. But still the trauma that you have gone through and saying, oh my God, now how will I handle it? What happens in your head. And how do you control this? You control this with meditation. You control this by talking about it. You control this by writing a diary and controlling your own ego, saying I made money because of luck, I lost money because of luck, because that's what happens, right? You buy some small share worth maybe nothing when you buy it, and it becomes a 5-bagger in a year. Or you buy a good company and it becomes a 13-bagger in a year. Right, you realize maybe over 2 years it becomes a 13-bagger. You realize that, look, a big portion of this was luck. I got into the right share at the right time, I made money. When you keep on telling yourself it is luck, you will feel less traumatized when you lose money. I mean, that's my way of handling it. Of course, one good thing about my portfolio management skill is I cut losses very, very quickly. So I can never lose big amount of money. Yes, I can lose 10 rupees on a share which is costing 200 bucks. That's 5%. And my initial purchase may have been only worth say 5-7 lakhs of rupees. So on that, if I lose 5%, it's about 25,000-35,000 bucks. That will not hurt me, it will not bug me. I'll be able to laugh at it the minute I make the mistake and the minute I book my losses. I know that it was a stupidity of mine, but I have those stop losses which work for me. See what works for you, because that is more important. So normal people and normal reactions is not what happens when you are under trauma. So I'll just read. Evil Hours is so relevant in the financial markets because we replay those traumatic moments again and again in our head, and we define how we invest in the future, right? So once you lose money like this, for example, I would not invest in a company which is in say contracting business like JP and based in North India, because with construction companies you are already unable to read the balance sheet well, and if it is in a location where you don't trust the average promoter, chances are you just stay away from it, right? You know, I'm not managing 25,000 crores of a mutual fund that I have to take a decision saying I have to put at least some money. There is no political, local, any kind of financial pressure on me to buy certain things or not buy certain things, right? Fund managers will go through all that hassle also. So the question is, whenever something like this happens, I mean, turn to meditation, turn to exercise, turn to gymming, turn to talk to people positively, right? Do all those things, because your mind is going to play and replay and replay. Like I say this, and I have copied it from somewhere, I now don't remember where. You won't laugh at the same joke again and again and again, but you will, when something wrong happens and something miserable happens, the chances are you will replay it in your head again and again and again, and that causes the trauma to increase. Thank you.